Hey guys, so I'm literally doing this in a parking lot, which is so crazy. I have it on a stand to try to control the shaking because I shake a lot, but it's windy, so now it looks like it might shake. So yeah, here we go. Oh, I gotta put my phone on silent. All right. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this in a parking lot where other people can hear me. But that's okay. That's the whole reason I started this 30-day challenge with Martha. I'm going to follow through to be more confident in what I'm saying. I might sit in my car because it's so freaking cold. Alright, yeah. Ooh, I didn't think it was this cold. Okay, so hopefully I can still use my stand. I am at the vet with a little Ruby Khaleesi. And, alright, I guess I'm holding it. This is super awkward, guys. Alright. Here we go. Ooh, it's cold. Okay. With a little Ruby Khaleesi, it's just her annual checkup. So hopefully I don't get a phone call in the middle of doing this, but here we are. So what I want to talk about today is going backwards to get better. I actually don't love the way that sounds, but I told a couple people that's what I was talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. But really, yep, there's the shaking. Yay, medicine. Look at that. Look at that. I got it propped. Not my favorite view, but yeah. This is real life, guys. There. Going backwards to get better. But really what it is breaking down the foundation of your life to build a better house, essentially. Which is something that I learned when I was working for Hope Church, actually. But it's so true. It's so true. And sometimes when we are on the path to growth, when we are on the path to healing, when we are on the path to becoming a new creation, I love that. Things feel worse. Things feel tougher. And it can be very painful and unpleasant. But what's happening is we're literally tearing down the walls of what we knew and who we were to become a more evolved version of ourselves, to become a wholer person. God, I have so many examples of this in my own life. Let me think. I should have came up with an example before I got on here, but here we are. This is what I do. So when I first, here we go. When I first moved in with my sister, this was about 6 years ago. My sister is amazing. If you don't know her, I feel bad for you. No, I'm just kidding. No, but she really is amazing. She is intelligent and strong and smart, and I can't say enough good things about her. A large reason I am who I am is because of the strength that she has taught me. She is unapologetically herself, and she never had to work at it, which is, I mean, of course she had to work at it, but she was always just Julie. And that's something I've always admired about her. It's beautiful. So when I first moved into with Julie about 6-7 years ago, I was very depressed to the point where I was suicidal. I just threw that out there, but it's true. I was very depressed and I was struggling. And she said to me during that time that she wanted me to make a list of who I wanted to become. I was literally just talking about this with a friend of mine. She wanted me to make a list about who I wanted to be. Literally who not like I want to be a life coach. I didn't know that was something that I desired at that time. Not I want to be I don't know, just who I wanted to be personality wise. And I need to look up this list because I know that I've accomplished a lot of it. But she wanted me to figure out who I wanted to be personality wise, who I wanted other people to define me as, what were my defining characteristics. And I know one of them was to be an adult because I wasn't. I was definitely, God, how old was I 6-7 years ago? I'm not good at math. I'm 34 now. I'll be 35 this year. So you guys do the math. So I wasn't a child, that's for sure. But I wasn't living as an adult. I wasn't paying my own bills. I wasn't responsible. I wasn't a responsible person. I had a big heart, but I've always had a big heart. But I wasn't a responsible person. I wanted to be respected, which sure, people respected me to an extent, you know, and I don't remember, I'll have to find the list. But in order, we're going to focus on the being an adult so that I can get my point across. So in order to become an adult, though, I had to do some things. I don't think this is a good example. Yeah, I really need a plan, but that's just not who I am. Like, I am the fly off the cuff, let's go for it person. Because I often find that if I don't just go for it, then I don't do it. All right, so let's try this again. Let's think here. Foundations. Oh, this is such a mess. Cool, whatever. You know what? Honestly, the best foundation that I can think of is moving to New Jersey, because when I moved to New Jersey, I had to do, for me, what I thought was the unthinkable, and I had to go back to retail, which I didn't want to do. When I left retail, I never wanted to go back. That was not something I desired. In Colorado, right before I moved out here, I was working as a power of attorney admin, and I was literally creating power of attorneys for the company that I worked for, which I met some amazing people there. You know who you are. I literally was creating power of attorneys for my company to have power of attorney over other companies. And I was proud of myself. I was proud of what I was doing, and I was succeeding in that job. I was doing very well. I created organization in it. I learned a lot. It was great. When I chose to move to New Jersey, it's really hard to find a full-time job from another state, especially when you don't have an address yet. So I ended up getting a job in retail in Colorado so that I could transfer in that retail job to New Jersey as a part-time associate. So not only was I walking away from a full-time job where I was doing well and I felt respected in that position, I was going back to part-time in a field I did not want to be in. It's not that retail isn't a great field for the right people, but for me, I hated it. It was soul-sucking for me. And the company I worked for was amazing. A large reason why I stayed in retail as long as I did after the fact. Thanks, Marin. I love you too. A large reason why I stayed in retail after the fact was because of that company, because that company treated its employees so well. And I loved the people I worked with. That was a huge reason why I stayed. But the field of retail itself is a really hard job, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like I could be me. Oh, I'm at the vet, and people keep walking by with their pets, and I just can't. This dog is so cute. I wish I could show you, but I'm not going to put these people on camera. Sorry. Squirrel. So I went back to retail, and I did end up getting an admin job after I moved out here for about a year, but that wasn't a good fit for me either. And so then I went back to retail again. Oh my God. This time it was a full-time position in retail, but it was still, I'm back in retail. And you know what? I thrived. I learned so much. I learned how to be a leader in that role. I learned how to control my emotions in a healthy way. I learned management skills. I learned scheduling. I learned math. Oh my God. So bad at math. And now I'm better. Now I'm doing payroll for people. I learned hiring. I learned social media. Like, I learned so much in that role. And I hated most of it. I was proud of myself. When I went to New York City for a conference, I was on top of the moon. I was like, I'm going to New York City for a conference. When I created and led training courses on how to sell credit cards and trained in 3 different states, I was so proud of myself. That was amazing. But I hated it. I had to go back to something that I didn't love to build the foundation of who I wanted to be. And that's the point I'm trying to get at here, is that sometimes we go backwards so that we can go forward. And it feels counterproductive, and it hurts, and it is painful. And it's like, why the hell is my life like this? Why am I going through this? Yeah, Marin, retail is tough. The people who work in retail honestly don't get enough respect. It is not an easy job. You're not just going in there and selling products. You are doing a lot. It is a tough job. It is so tough. But going back to what I was saying is that sometimes we need to break it all down so that we can move forward. And that period when you are breaking down your foundation, when you've torn down the walls of your house and you are going down to the bare of what, and rebuilding who your thought process is and relearning everything, that is when growth is occurring. And it might be painful, but you will survive it. You will get through it. And on the other side of it is something greater, something stronger, something more beautiful. And I mean, this is one example in my life, but I can, if I planned better, I can think of so many more where I had to break down literally everything I believed so that I could become who I am now. And I still do it. I will always be doing it because of the growth, the work is never over, right? It's never over. And that's okay. That's good. That's great, actually, if it's over. If you think your job is done on growing, on up-leveling in your life, you're wrong. I'm just flattening out saying it. You are wrong. Yeah. Today, I would ask that you guys, if you are willing, share something in your lives in the comments about, or even create your own post. You want to share it on my page? I'd love it. Create a post about, oh, thank you. Oh, Marin, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. And your goals, like Marin, your goals of where you want to go is so inspiring and so solid. I would love if you shared, Marin, how you found your goals. I think that would be very inspiring for other people. I know you've shared it with me, but I think if you shared it here or on your own page or whatever, how you came to those goals, that would be really inspiring for people who are not sure what goals they want, if that makes sense. But in here, in this post, what I would encourage you guys to do is share an area of your life that you have already grown through and have already broken down that foundation and rebuilt that house. I would love to see an area for you that's already happened. And here's the thing, when you share that, you will start recognizing other areas of your life that you have broken down your foundation and rebuilt your house. And you will encourage other people to see that. So I would love it if you guys did. All right, guys. This was a mess. I gotta plan better. I just don't like to plan. I'm that person that goes on a road trip and is like, I got GPS. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's crazy. I'm nuts. Shouldn't be a surprise. All right. Love you guys. Happy Saturday, and I will talk to you soon.